We'll go ahead and get started. First question, Mark Berman.
Hey, Stephen, can you give us your starting lineup for tonight?
Still to be determined. To be determined. Do we have a
an update?
Yeah, an update on.
Hold on.
Sorry.
You're fine.
It's okay.
Tucker's good to go.
Who else?
Good.
Yeah.
DJ.
And then
I have not received anything else.
nothing else on anybody else?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm still kind of waiting on who's available, who's not. Oladipo, Cousins, those guys, they're out.
Yes. Victor and DeMarcus are out.
Victor and Cuz are out. So yeah, needless to say, I have some figuring out to do.
Jonathan Fagan.
On Victor and DeMarcus, particularly Victor, it looked like he was trending towards playing a couple days ago. Did he have a setback with the practice on Saturday?
He did. He stepped on Rodi's foot. So he has had a slight setback and was very limited today in shoot around. And hopefully he'll be able to come back sooner than later. But yeah, he stepped on Rodi's foot, and I didn't think it was as bad or that bad, I guess. And obviously it's bad enough for him not to be able to play tonight.
Thank you.
Adam Sloan.
Stephen, just what are some of the factors that you're weighing as you try and figure out who to start?
Yeah, there's a few. So there's the big versus small. There is their lineups, the Bulls lineups. There's who would slide into that like three spot. So yeah, I have a pretty good idea, but until I have it, I'm not gonna say what it is.
Ali Kampajani.
Hey, Stephen. Wanted to ask about mental health. From the daily testing to limitations with social distancing restrictions and all the other unique aspects of the time we're living in, and for you as a head coach and for your players, how do you emphasize the importance of mental health for yourself and for your team? And what are some of the resources available for you to use or for you to utilize for your players and coaches?
Wow, that's a really good question. An important question as well. So as far as the mental health part of it, like the day-to-day mental health part of it, it's not an easy thing. And I don't think it's easy for not just like us as a basketball team, but just people in general, having to stay home, having to mask up, having to deal with protocols, whether they are, a percentage of people can only be in your business or, just so many different things. But for us as a basketball team, we've kind of like normalized it, I guess, and made it to where we come in and we test, and it's not a big deal anymore. We just make sure that practice is kind of aligned with the testing part of it. And we try to make it as normal as possible, as similar to any other NBA season as possible, which is very hard to do. The testing is a grind for the players, and then they have to come in later and test, and they're not allowed, and then all they're allowed to do is go home and then come back to the arena. So yes, we do have people in place for them to call if they're struggling. We are consistently and constantly communicating with guys, making sure that they have everything they need when it comes to pretty much anything, but mostly if they're kind of feeling a little bit down, we got to make sure that that is being attended to. And that is something that kind of has become more and more important as the years go along. In Dallas, we had a similar situation to here, where we were very, very in tune to the mental health aspect and part of it. But as a head coach, there's it's very important to make sure that everybody, not just players, but staff and support staff are all kind of in the right headspace, which is a hard thing to do. Like I kind of began, for anybody, not just basketball players, but for anybody, it's important to have the kind of system in place to get help if you need it.
Thank you.
Ryan Bearfield.
Coach, before I ask my question, I just want to say thank you. As an Army veteran who deals with mental health issues, I thank you for that answer. Justin Patton, has he learned enough to be thrust into the starting lineup tonight, or has he learned enough to get significant minutes?
Yeah, he's been here for the practices. I've watched individual film with him. He's worked with the coaches. He knows kind of what we're doing. And to me, starting versus not starting doesn't really make that much of a difference. Is he prepared to play? And he is prepared to play. So, yeah, we've done a lot of work with him. And he's been in a bunch of NBA systems. He's been in the G League. So the picking stuff up part, which is a very important part, he seems to be pretty good at. And he's picked things up very quickly. And, yeah, we're going to throw him out there and see what he can do.
Charles Swirsky.
Thank you. Coach, I hope you're doing well. And I've got a question pertaining to you, not about the players, but you've had an incredible first year already as a head coach. How are you doing personally, professionally?
Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate the question. And I wish I could see you in person right now. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Like I continue to say, every day is a challenge, obviously, but I'm enjoying the challenge. I'm enjoying every part of it. There isn't a part that I'm like not really feeling or obviously the losing isn't great, but coming up with the practice plan, coming up with a message, coming up with the right kind of approach is something that I haven't had to do before. I've assisted in that role, but now it's my job and I'm enjoying it. So overall, I'm doing good. Obviously, where we are as a team isn't exactly where I want us to be, but there's other factors. There's trades, there's injuries, there's everything else that kind of goes into it. But for me, it's just really, really concentrating on the day-to-day and making sure that I'm getting the most out of every single day, not just for myself, but for the group.
Jonathan Fagan.
As you weigh your options with starting lineups and the rotation that follows, is there any value to trying to keep some of the combinations that you've had together, or have they not been together enough that it's kind of a dumb question?
No, there's definitely value to it. There's that whole figuring that part out is really just a day-to-day, game-by-game thing. I mean, I thought Cuz was going to start tonight. I thought Vic was going to be, after practice 2, I thought Vic was going to be fine to play tonight. And now they're not. So here we go, rolling out another starting lineup. I believe this is the first time that we've actually started small. Maybe I think I'm right about that, but yeah, the consistency is everything. To know, if I'm a player, I want to know when I'm going in the game, approximately how much I'm going to play, and who I'm going to be playing with. And that has been an issue and a struggle this year, just because of the injury bug that has hit us so hard. So yeah, ultimately, when I'm putting together the rotation and that kind of thing, I'm trying my best to make sure that guys have a good feel for when they're going to play, who they're playing with. But circumstances say otherwise or present other challenges to where sometimes that can't be the case. So we're fighting through it, and you know, we're going to roll with the small lineup tonight and see what it looks like if that's the way I go. If I decide to go with Justin, which I probably won't. We'll see how that goes too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.